Hey everyone, I guess we're live, aren't we? It's a late Saturday night. I'm bored out of my skull, is what I am. And instead of filming a video and editing and all that good stuff, let's do this live. This is my music room in a state of affairs. I think in my last video I talked about getting ready for a record fair. Yeah. And this is the state of my basement at the moment. So yeah, what are we listening to? A very old scratchy copy of Guess Who, American Woman. We'll turn this down a bit. This is the turntable. And of course the lighting's horrible, isn't it? Let's give them some better lighting here. Anyways, found this a few days ago at a thrift store. It's a Pioneer 15D. I hope you all can hear me, by the way. I went to a thrift store, and this was sitting on the testing station. And when I see a turntable sitting on this testing station and no one's bought it, that tells me it's not working. So I'm going to give away a little trade secret, which is not really a trade secret. But first thing I do when I see something like this and it's not spinning, it's not plugged in right now, but trust me, I plugged it in, it wasn't spinning. So most people assume it's not working. So I'll lock this back up here. But I take this off. It's very simple and not really a secret at all. You see if the belt's connected, and the belt was not connected. So what I did is I connected it and it worked fine. But what they had done is they had marked this down to $8.99 for parts. So I snapped it right up. It's probably the cleanest turntable I've ever found in the wild. There's like not a spot on it. If you look at the dust cover, immaculate. Sorry about the lighting, everyone. I did this kind of last moment. Anyways, stunning condition. So what I did, the belt was a bit brittle, so I took that off. I'm going to replace that probably this coming week on payday. And the needle, well, the cart itself, it needs a new cart, and I have several kicking around, so I'm going to replace the cart this week. But an absolute, like, stunning condition Pioneer 15D turntable. So, like, I need another one. That's sitting on top of my Marantz, if you remember my Marantz score from a month or two ago. So that's that. That's the turntable score I got. It's got one of these, let's see if I can do this here. There's no card on it now, don't worry about it. One of these overhang checkers. Which I've never really had on a turntable before. So, anyways, let's lock that up. Or not. There you go. That was my turntable score. So we're going to kind of peruse, or whatever you want to call it, over to my music room, and I'm going to flip screen on this one, if I can do that. And I'm going to show you some vinyl finds this week, which isn't a whole lot, to be honest with you. So we're going to get into my music room here. I think I've shown my music room before in the past, haven't I? Some 8 tracks there. Anyways, there's me and David Bowie. Anyways, let's try this flip screen thing, okay? And you can enjoy a nice little view of my music room this way. Hey everyone. Wasn't that exciting? Anyways, my whole family's home. And I'm trying to get over my, it's not really a fear, it's just an awkwardness of doing these things. Doing these videos when my family's home. And I'm looking around for my coffee. I know I have a coffee here. Give me a second. This is really, see, this is live. And you're going to see my Ghostbusters jammy pants. Anyways, cheers everyone. I hope my wife's watching. Probably not. I'm not even sure if comments is turned on. I don't even know who's watching. Anyways, cheers everyone. I was kind of hoping no one's watching this. I can kind of film this and, oh my god, who's watching? Someone's watching. Hey. See, I have these progressive lenses, and I'm still adjusting to them a year later. So any comments, I'll try to read really quickly. But if I don't get to it, I'm sorry. It's trying to adjust to it. Hey Nathan, how's it going? I don't have a lot of vinyl finds, to be honest with you. I think I referenced this in my last video, that all that mess back there, that's the record fair stuff, it's kind of been all-encompassing. But I did have a couple The same place that I got that turntable. Yeah, I know. It's just getting used to them. That's the thing. I've had them for a year. And, hey, how's it going? When I was, after I sold my last record store, I became, some of you might know, I became a letter carrier for our postal system, which was the best job I ever had. I've never been so fit in my life. And, but you're looking up and down at your mail like probably a million times a day. So when I went to Progressives, thank God I had got promoted to a different job, because I couldn't imagine these things now. My God. Anyways, I'm feeling my age now. Anyways, I've been, if my wife's watching upstairs, I'm sure my kid's not. He's probably balls deep in Call of Duty or I don't know, whatever those kids play. Anyways, I'm gonna get to these vinyl scores here, and if I can see any questions there, I don't know, who would have questions for me? Anyways, the same place that I found the Pioneer turntable, I found this excellent condition. Yeah, that's the Pioneer. I'm so happy with. I just sorry, and it's really awkward. I'm trying to read, and I'm looking up like an old man. People make fun of me at work, by the way, because I'm on the computer. I have like a supervisory job now, and I'm like, I look like an old man. I'm typing like this because a lot of my job is like watching people work and working on the computer. I'm always like this, and they always make fun of me because I'm an old man now. Anyways, the same place I got the turntable, actually, I got this, and I was really excited about this because I've always been wanting to buy the reissue of this, but I'm holding out for I was always holding out for an original Motown copy, and I don't profess to be the biggest, most knowledgeable person about Motown, but I know what I like from selling it in my record stores. I got thanks for laughing at me, by the way. I got an incredibly nice condition copy of Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. And it's an original Motown in Canada. It was distributed by Ampex. But that was like, it wasn't $1. I think it was like $2.99 or something like that. But still, $3 for an original copy of What's Going On. That's an original gatefold. And what I didn't realize about What's Going On, because usually when I'm listening to What's Going On, it was inside one of my record stores. And it's kind of background. You got customers there, but having listened to this now all the way through several times, I didn't realize what a kind of I wouldn't say politically charged album, but what a statement of the times. If you listen to that album all the way through, it's quite a statement of kind of that the '70s era that was made. I kind of really, for the first time. Yeah, I'm late to the show on Marvin Gaye albums. Anyways, this came in the mail, and I've been watching this one for a long time. It's an Italian import. It was released, I believe, for David Bowie exhibit in Italy, and they released this in Italy only. And you could order it online. There were limited quantities released online, but it was like $50, and at one point it was $60. And I'm not paying $60 for a 7-inch single. It doesn't matter how much I love Bowie. No way. But months and months and months of just kind of just waiting and waiting it out and waiting it out. And finally, one day I popped on, and the place I ordered it from had lowered it to $15. So that was a good $45 drop in price. But I guess an original copy of this goes for quite a bit of money. So I'm happy with my $15 reissue. It's David Bowie, and it's his Italian version of Space Oddity, I believe. If I can see that there. I haven't even opened it yet, but it's blue vinyl. Trying to get the glare off the screen there. And it's all different lyrics, actually. It was kind of, he re-sang it in Italian. But I guess the lyrics were all different. I'm not sure why that was. I didn't do my homework tonight. But when do I ever? Anyways, so that was an exclusive Italian import release for this David Bowie exhibit in Italy, and I was really happy to get that. Now, like I said, I wasn't going to pay the incredible price they were asking. Anyways, I got a nice upgrade copy of The Smiths, The Queen is Dead. And some of you might know there's a Queen is Dead deluxe box set coming out in October, November. Probably October, actually. one of those massive, like, 3 vinyl, 155 CD sets, and I had pre-ordered it, and I realized, you know, I have the CD. I just need an upgrade vinyl copy. I don't need all the little extras and doodads that come with it. So, I thought, you know, I'll save $100, and I just went for an upgrade copy of The Queen is Dead. So I officially have kind of all really stellar copies of Smith's albums now, so I can kind of close the door on that chapter of my music collecting. Queen is Dead. Probably, maybe my favorite Smiths album, next to Strange Ways, Here We Come, their last album. I'm going to save probably, the best is all relative. I'll save the best for last. But if you're Canadian, I know some of my Canadian friends were kind of shitting their pants a bit that I found a copy of this, and a sealed copy of this. There's a Canadian band, late 80s, early 90s, called Lowest of the Low. Yeah, neither do I. You know, like I have up here, I have a couple of those massive. Sorry, someone's asking the question that they are making a statement that they never listened to all those extra CDs and whatnot. And for as awesome as it sounds to own, how many times do you listen to demo CDs? I mean, some of you might disagree. I think demo CDs as bonus in box sets are such a cop-out. I mean, especially CDs of instrumental takes and demos. Ugh. So in theory, it sounds good. You get this mega box set, but you know when you pull it, it's a pain. Let's be totally honest about it. To pull it off the shelf, these big massive sets, and pull the one disc that you will play, it's a massive pain in the ass. So like I said, in theory, it sounds good to own these massive box sets that cost $1 trillion, but for functionality, I think it's just better just to unless all the contents are just ace. I don't know. Like I said, that seems to be the trend in the record industry to release these mega CD box sets, and throw some vinyl in. And like the new Metallica Master of Puppets one coming out has a cassette in it, for God's sakes. Yeah, exactly. Someone's talking about the demo CDs. Like, there's a reason why they're demos. I don't want to hear. I mean, I think the Beatles anthology demos were the closest I came to actually getting some enjoyment out of demos. But apart from that, like, so anyways, like I said, the Metallica box set coming out is just there's a cassette in it, and just yeah, Sgt. Pepper's one. You know what? That Sgt. Pepper's box set, that's another one I pre-ordered. The Sgt. Pepper box set. Someone was talking about the Sgt. Pepper's box set that came out. I pre-ordered that and canceled that. So I realized I have 2 stellar copies of the original album. I don't know what more they can offer me at this point. So yeah, and I agree with you there. Probably the Sgt. Pepper, the extras probably would have been worth it, to be honest with you. But anyways, I'm going to get back to this find here. It's probably only meaningful if you're Canadian, to be honest with you. There's a band called Lowest of the Low, and they had a couple of really great albums in, I believe, the early 90s. And this one probably is the most well-known one in Canada. It's called Shakespeare My Butt. And it had one vinyl reissue in 2010. And even then, it was just kind of under the radar kind of, vinyl was just in 2010. Yeah, I owned a record store then. And even then, even though we had a healthy collection of vinyl, I don't think it really caught on with the mainstream. So I think this reissue kind of came and went, and no one really took notice of it. But now people will claw your eyes out for a copy of this. But anyways, Lowest of the Low, Shakespeare My Butt. I got a sealed copy of it. A local, I don't know how, I won't even take it out. I'm guessing this local store found some old stock or something. They had one copy left somewhere. Maybe a staff member put one on hold. And 7 years later, they found it and put it out. Which, I tell you what, that's one of my, excuse me, some of you might know I ran and owned record stores for 22 years. And yes, I always talk about that because I'm fucking proud of it. And, hey, how's it going, man? Skydiggers, totally. Sorry, someone was asking about Skydiggers. I've seen them several times, actually. A lot of those bands, it's kind of like, my city is, that's where they it's a regular stop, so they probably played here 2-3 times a year. And I lost my train of thought now. Anyways, I was going to say when I was owning record stores or even managing record stores, one of my biggest pet peeves was you have long-term staff members, and there's hold boxes, and they have. If I have an employee for 5 years, they'll have 5 years of holds until you limit it. And then one of my stores, what the staff did, vanilla fudge. Good question. Let me get to that in a second. What I did is actually I started limiting my staff's hold boxes because it was just getting half my stock is under the counter. So what they started doing is they started hiding it in a cupboard I never went into, which had like Christmas decorations or something. So I finally when that particular store, the owner died one day. He dropped out of a heart attack, sadly, and we had to close the store. His wife didn't really want to know. She wasn't into music, so she said, shut the store. And so we were cleaning out the store. I found this cupboard with everyone's hold vinyl from like 10 years of. Anyways, I'm rambling now. Yeah, so Lois at Low Shakespeare in my butt. That was a pretty incredible find on that one. And this is going to be it for vinyl fans. I haven't had much. This came in the mail actually, and this is pretty exciting for me because if I know where the companion piece is, I'll grab that really quickly here, and then you'll know what I'm talking about here. Sorry, it's right here. I swear it's right here. Alright, here we go. So, I have an original copy of this kind of two-part album that came out by 9 Inch Nails. You can disconnect now if you're not a 9 Inch Nails fan. Anyways, this was the remix album to the one I got. I have an original copy of Fixed on vinyl, original Nothing Records. By the way, I'm a massive Damned fan. If I ever showed you my Damned CD collection, it would take 2 hours. My Damned CD collection of the band The Damned, someone was eyeing this Damned album behind me. And I can't, sorry, I'm having trouble reading names, I'm sorry. I'm blind. Anyways, my Damned CD collection takes up about 3 shelves of one of my CD racks. Like, it's massive. It's like... Anyways, I'm going to stay on point here. 9 Inch Nails. I found an original copy of Fixed probably a year ago, which is, as far as remix albums go, I don't think remix albums needed one of those. Probably one of my favorite ones, probably one of the harshest remix albums ever. Anyways, Trent Reznor is releasing the definitive vinyl reissues of all of his albums, but only on his website. And the only one I didn't have on vinyl is this one. I got a copy of Broken. Probably my favorite, one of my favorite EP. Oh yeah, sorry, and I'm going off topic here. Sorry, Nathan. I saw that Matt did a video on Vanilla Fudge, and I actually haven't had time today to watch that video, but I did see it though. Yeah, I don't have an original Stiff Records copy of that Damned album behind me, unfortunately. I did at one point in life when I sold all my records, when I was broke and living on my own. Anyways, I'm gonna try to stay on point here. 9 Inch Nails Broken. This was only available. It's still the vinyl. I mean, they sell out really quick. He only did a quick limited run of all his albums, but the only one I didn't have was Nothing. Nothing's the label. It's called Broken. And Trent Reznor's calling these the definitive issues, and I guess he went through with a fine-tooth comb and really went to town to make these vinyl presses the best ever, and they really are. I don't think the regular issues that Universal did even touch these ones. So I'll show you what's in. I'm going to show you what's in these ones. Oh yeah, sorry, someone's talking about the Damned again. Frontier Records did. They licensed that album for a while, didn't they? I think I have some Damned Frontier Records stuff. I think I was in the States and Canada. They did. They licensed some Damned stuff here. Anyways, I'm gonna get through this 9 Inch Nails album really quick here, because it's the album, obviously, and I'm going to touch the vinyl for it. So for those of you who rip on me for touching records, it's my record. I paid the money, you know. Some people when I show records, the actual vinyl, and I accidentally slip and touch the records. Some people, they're usually not subscribers, by the way. They're usually kind of tourists who come in and rip me apart and fuck off elsewhere. Anyways, there's a booklet about the album. A really nice booklet he did. That comes in that album. I'll show you the album in a second. There was actually a nice, came in a nice insert, but I kind of switched it to one of these kind of high quality ones. But that's the record. I'll show you that in a second. And there's the original liner notes it came with. And what's really cool is that if you might remember, the original EP, I believe on CD, had 2 bonus tracks. So he included that on 7-inch single. So there is the 7-inch single that comes with it, with those 2 bonus tracks, which is, I believe, I'm testing my memory. Is it Physical and Suck? No, if it's Physical and, I can't remember now. It's Adamant's the Physical song, or Adamant, to cover an Adamant song. Anyways, yeah, I didn't prepare. Anyways, there's the 7-inch single that came with it. And obviously it's an EP that fits nicely on one side. See, I'm not touching it, touching the edges. And it has a nice etching on it. I don't know if you can see that. You can barely kind of make that out there. There's the etching. Typical Trent Reznor minimalism kind of etching. So that's what I got in the mail. And the really cool thing is that I don't know how he does this, but I'm not... I do like Nine Inch Nails a lot, but I'm not a Reznor disciple where everything he does is great. But I have to give him props. All the prices on these albums were just incredibly low. They're broken with all the doodads and all the extras in it. Was $25.99, and shipping wasn't bad to Canada. And yeah, I was quite happy with that. So that's another Nine Inch Nails chapter closed. So now I have the complete discography of Nine Inch Nails. And I have the new album on pre-order too, so that'll add to it. Anyways, not to make this go too long, but I just wanted to pop on live and do a live one, which I never do. And why not? So anyways, I'm going to end this right away. And, oh sorry, Vanilla Fudge. You know what, now I'm thinking of it, I think I only do have that first album on vinyl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out Matt Hayes' video first before I start talking Vanilla Fudge. I do have all their CDs, but that first Vanilla Fudge album, I think the only one I have, which is essential listening. Everyone should have that Vanilla Fudge album. And I wonder if I have it within reach here. I probably do. See, all my U's and V's are really tightly packed here. Oh, my Simon, yeah, you know what? I'm a huge, someone's talking about my Simon Pegg figures. You can see behind me there, next to Towley. I'm a massive Shaun of the Dead fan. In fact, I think I might have told the story before. If not, I'll tell this story really quick here. I've been to London twice in the past 4 or 5 years. And the first time I went to London, one of the requirements of going was my wife had to come with me. And it's good thing she came with me because I couldn't find my way around my bathroom without her directing me. It's kind of what wives do. And we went to the filming where they filmed Shaun of the Dead, the Winchester. If you've seen that movie, there's a bar in it where it kind of more or less takes place in a bar called the Winchester. And we went there, and the Winchester is sadly no longer a pub. It's they renovated it into a condo. But the street's all the same where all the zombies came down. And I'm sure the locals were really excited to see me kind of recreating the zombie walk. And here's the thing, I'm not really into zombies. I'm not one of those guys. In my city, there's kind of like zombie walks that people partake in. And everyone dresses like zombies, and they walk down the street downtown. And awesome for them. But I kind of did the zombie thing and fulfilled a little bit of a dream. I'm a huge, huge fan of that movie. So yeah, I do have quite a bit of figures, and you know what? Sorry, someone's talking about the movie. Hey, sorry, I'm having trouble reading all the comments here. Sorry. Someone was asking me if I seen the movie Baby Driver, which T-Rex is on, the Dam's on the soundtrack, and that Fonzie figure, sorry, behind me, that's a whole other story. That is a whole video unto itself because there's a good story behind that one. But someone was talking about seeing the movie Baby Driver, and me and my wife tonight were contemplating going to a movie, which we never do. And I've been meaning to see that movie Baby Driver while it's still playing, because the soundtrack is so cool. Doesn't mean it's a great movie. still kind of want to see that movie and see how T-Rex and the Damned kind of play within that movie. My guitar. My guitar is this one is my fiddling around guitar. Oh, watch me smash it getting it for you. Nothing fancy, just an, it's a Epitaph Les Paul Custom. Probably out of tune, but no, I'm not going to play for you. Yeah, Baby Driver, I got to see that one, I know. But, yeah, so for those asking, I get that asked quite a bit. It's just an Epiphone Les Paul Custom. Really nice. And it's, in fact, I'm not, you know, I can doodle around the guitar pretty well, but I'm actually a bass player. I've played in bands before. In fact, for those of you who might know the band, the Brian Jonestown Massacre, we did an opening slot for them in this band. I won't mention the band, but we played to us. We were their sole opening band for their show, one of their first show in my city actually, and I got to hang out with Anton Newcomb. And this was after. Yeah, mine weighs 1,000 pounds too, actually. This is after that movie Dig came out. If you know the movie Dig, that had the Dandy Warhols and the Brian's Jonestown Massacre. They played my city not too long after that movie came out, and Anton was swearing that he was off drugs, and how they never fight in that movie was an exaggeration. So we were going to do our sound check before, after Jonestown, and they spent their whole sound check fighting, just like the movie portrayed them. And then afterwards, I also worked at this club, which kind of helped me get that gig. I was booking bands. I didn't book that show, but I was booking bands at the time, and I was DJing a lot at that club. And the dressing room was in this loft, and we go to clean it out afterwards, and it was cotton and cigarette butts, the filters of cigarette butts where people would shoot heroin. Not saying they did it, allegedly. But yeah, so it was really funny hanging out with Anton Newcomb from the Brian's Jonestown Massacre, swearing that movie was kind of edited together to make him look that way. And then here they are, they fought the whole sound check, like fighting. And then afterwards, we go clean up, and there's this freaking needles. And that's true. I don't think Anton's going to sue me for that one. Is he? Anyways, I put my guitar away. So yeah, that's my Brian's Jonestown Massacre story. I can't remember how I led up to that. Oh yeah, I was typically a bass player, and what I did is when I fell ill last fall, and I was off work for about 4 months, I was kind of getting bored of my bass. It was really heavy too. It kind of really hurt to kind of have it on me. I was really ill at the time, so I thought, I'm gonna sell my bass and maybe get a guitar just to fiddle around. It'll be my bass weighed a ton. It was a Burns Marquee bass, like one of those old 60 kind of big horns on it. Loved it. But yeah, I'll get a guitar, and then I got one that weighs a ton as well. But I'm better now, so I can kind of hold the weight of the guitar now. So there you go. Anyways, that story. And how long is this video going on for? Oh, it's my typical half-hour video. Anyways, so if you made it this far, the vinyl finds were a long time ago, and my turntable find, beginning of the video. There you go. So everyone, if you've been watching this, thank you. I'm going to get going because the wife's upstairs and probably wondering where the hell I went off to, unless you're watching. Hello. And it's the Labor Day long weekend, so I'm probably going to go outside on the deck and have another coffee and enjoy the rest of my night. So everyone, if you've been watching, thank you very much. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that. And like I always say, if you're watching my videos, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. There you go. So we'll see if I have some more vinyl finds this week. Take care, Nathan. Andrew, take care. Yeah, it's late here too. It's really late here, and like I said, I'm just bumming around the house. I do this, so we'll end it here. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you next video. Peace.